Trump was in. We're not sort of expecting the mass protests that happened there. I think a lot of his people who've opposed him, his enemies, all seem a bit defeated at this point, and they're kind of just sort of accustomed to what's about to unfold. And yeah, I think it would probably be important for Trump to try and strike a little bit more of a unifying message rather than the really kind of dark tones he spoke in when he was sworn in the first time.
And Tom, do you know who's going to perform at the inauguration? I know there's always some big names there that like to get on stage.
Yeah, Carrie Underwood's kind of the big surprise headliner, the country music star. The Village People are doing YMCA, I think, at one of the inaugural balls, which was an interesting one because they'd sort of long been a bit uncomfortable with Trump using that as one of his kind of theme songs, and now they've sort of been talking about, unifying the country, and they've decided they'll come and perform, so I think that'll be probably one of the big hits of the weekend.
Okay, well, we'll be tuned, we'll be up, so we'll see it all. Thank you so much, Tom. Appreciate your time and your calculation of that time zone there for us. Thank you.
Most welcome. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Hey, we're going to quickly, on just what we were talking about before, family rules, we've been talking about all sorts of things.
What's the one arrow of truth in your life that you stick by?
Correct, exactly right. So, Martin, good morning.
Hi, I bought a Mailways recently, and I just wanted to let you know that they are definitely still produced and available.
How much did you pay for it?
Or about $70 or $80.
What?
There you go.
That's so expensive. That's more than I thought.
Well, I'll sell it for more when the sat-nav sales, won't I?
Does it get much use, Martin?
No, it's there purely as a standby.
Oh, just in case the tech goes down.
When sat-nav goes down,
I like
I'll be stuffed if I haven't got my Mailways.
Martin, you are
I'm very interested. I had some teenagers in the back of the car about 6 months ago, and they found the Mailways and they started going through it. Well, they just giggled at it. They hadn't got a clue what it's used for.
Well,
and they couldn't use it either. They didn't know how to use it.
Well,
the youth.
Who will be laughing when the tech goes down?
That's right.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much for the call, Martin. We've got Simon in Keilor East. Simon, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Chanel. Good morning, Bob. Just a tip with the traffic wave and everything. First of all, you've got to acknowledge when you do get the wave.
Yes.
Just another little nod head.
Yep.
But if you're letting someone in, don't just sort of leave a gap and a little nod of the head. You give an almighty flourish with your hand and a big bow with your head. So you make it really clear you're letting them in, and anyone who doesn't acknowledge that, wow,
I agree.
they're a waste of oxygen.
So, Simon, when a truck lets me in, I'm full window down, arm out the window, saying, thanks, mate, thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. Even if it's raining, window down, stick your arm out.
Yeah, I'm down and I'm waving.
I think this could be a calling card for breakfast on 774 of, don't just wave, wind down your window, arm out the air.
Yeah,
yep.
Or it's the big left hand in the mirror, so they see it. It's kind of in the middle of the two seats. Like,
more
thank you.
More is more, in terms of the gratitude wave. We've got some text, Charnel. Definitely button from the button up, less likely to miss a button. It is
from the
true.
bottom up.
From the bottom up. I think there's something about the vantage point. If you start up high and go down, there's more room for error. I've lived it. It's true. We never answer the phone calls during meals. This is Morris in Ashwood. This is the family rule. We never answer the phone calls during meals. It's time for conversation with family and friends. Thank you for that, Morris. Rule: don't trust a man with a bum bag.
Oh my gosh, my husband wants a bum bag. He recently told me he wants to buy a bum bag. We've been looking for them.
Well, don't hang him just yet. Don't trust a man with a matching tracksuit. Always answer the phone if your mum rings. That's the holy trinity.
He has all those things. He wants a bum bag. He wears matching tracksuits. I've already married him.
Oh wow, you are in focus, Nicholas.
No.
Agree with, don't be late 100%, but growing up in the country with long drives, Mum always said, better to be late than not at all. Much better way than saying don't speed. Also, teaching my 3-year-old, it's not a mistake if you can fix it.
Yes.
Oh, I need to think about that.
Yes.
And the last, and that was, so thank you for your text. Really, really appreciate it. 1300 222 774 if you would like to call in and contribute to this conversation.
Absolutely. We want to know what your family tips and tricks are, do you wave? Do you do the courtesy wave? That's my big one. I want to see it happen. I want you to do it. Otherwise, I don't want to say I'll tailgate you, but it really makes me mad if you don't do it. 1300 222 774. We'll take more of your calls after this.
The one thing about the ABC is that you always know what's going on in Melbourne. That's critical.
When you need the latest information about your city, your suburb, your world, it's on 774 ABC Radio Melbourne.
ABC News with Mary McDonald. Good morning. Police are searching for a man they believe was involved in the stabbing deaths of two other men in Melbourne's southeast overnight. Nicholas Hines reports.
Police believe the man fled from a property in Clyde North before emergency services arrived on the scene about 9:30 last night. They were called to the address following reports a fight had broken out and arrived to find two men on the road with stab wounds. Police provided medical assistance, but both died at the scene. Homicide squad detectives are now investigating the deaths and have been interviewing other people who were at the house at the time of the incident. They believe the three men knew each other and are urging anyone with information to come forward.
Police are continuing their search for two people behind a botched arson attack that killed a woman in Melbourne's west yesterday morning. Joshua Allen reports.
The two people were captured on CCTV entering the home on Dover Street, Truganina, shortly after 2 a.m. yesterday, before an explosion engulfed the three-storey townhouse in flames and the pair drove off. Police say a 27-year-old woman who was house-sitting for her brother called 000 moments later, saying she was trapped inside the home. She died at the scene. Police believe the arsonist targeted the wrong address. Detectives say they're unsure if the pair escaped without injury and are appealing to the public to look out for anyone with fresh burns. Police are stepping up their patrols in the area.
The Israeli government has yet to approve a ceasefire and hostage deal with Hamas in Gaza amid an internal brawl in Benjamin Netanyahu's cabinet. It's being reported the Israeli cabinet will meet to vote on the deal on Friday local time, as Middle East correspondent Matthew Doran reports.
Two far-right members of the Netanyahu coalition ministry, Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich, have repeatedly threatened to quit the government if a ceasefire deal with Hamas was reached. And now that negotiators have struck an agreement and a vote of Israel's cabinet is required to formally adopt the proposal, they appear to be preparing to follow through on those threats. Mr. Netanyahu doesn't need a unanimous decision of the cabinet to get it over the line. The departure of the two men could unsettle his government. There had been hopes the ceasefire would come into force on Sunday, beginning a process of military withdrawal, hostage and prisoner release in Gaza. Matthew Doran, ABC News, Jerusalem.
Police are investigating what's believed to be another anti-Semitic attack in Sydney's eastern suburbs. Police say two cars have been set alight in Dover Heights with offensive graffiti painted on the vehicles. A home has also been spray painted. It's the latest in a string of attacks on places of worship and public buildings, and police have appealed to public health and CCTV footage as they hunt for those responsible. Residents in fire-impacted areas of Los Angeles are being told they won't be allowed to return to their homes for at least a week. North America correspondent Barbara Miller reports.
Dangerous Santa Ana winds have subsided, allowing more progress to be made on the Eaton and Palisades fires, which are now 55% and 22% contained. The safety checks are still being carried out before residents are allowed back into the worst affected areas. LA County Sheriff Robert Luna says they are also still searching for human remains.
There are areas we are holding because we believe there may be deceased victims there.
27 people are known to have died in the fires. Barbara Miller, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The sports and in tennis, Australians Destiny Iava and Tristan Skulkate were knocked out of the Australian Open last night. Tim Callahan reports from Melbourne Park.
Destiny Iava pushed American 10th seed Danielle Collins all the way, but eventually fell in 3 sets. The American didn't take kindly to being booed by sections of the crowd as she celebrated her win.
One of the greatest things about being a professional athlete is the people that don't like you and the people that hate you, they actually pay your bills.
Another Australian, Tristan Skulkate, took a set off men's defending champion Yannick Sinner before losing in 4, and Daniil Medvedev was beaten by American teenager Lerner Tien in a match that finished just before 3 a.m.
To the weather now. There's a severe weather warning for damaging winds in parts of the northeast, East Gippsland and western South Gippsland. And there's a strong wind warning for the East Gippsland coast. For the state, isolated showers on and south of the ranges, clearing through western and central districts during the afternoon, remaining dry and sunny in the north. A mild day tending warm about the northwest, with temperatures near or below average. For Melbourne, partly cloudy, the chance of a shower this morning with a top today of 23 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny 29, sunny on Sunday 32, Monday partly cloudy 30, Tuesday mostly sunny 29, Wednesday a shower or two and 22. Right now in Melbourne, it's 17 degrees. ABC News.
G'day, welcome to AM. I'm David Lipson in Canberra, coming to you from Ngunnawal country and acknowledging other custodians. 24 hours after a ceasefire and hostage deal was finally agreed to by Israel and Hamas, that truce hangs in the balance. A row has erupted with Benjamin Netanyahu's government delaying a vote by the Israeli cabinet to approve the agreement before it comes into force on Sunday. Middle East correspondent Matthew Doran is in Jerusalem. Matthew, the cynic in me is looking ahead to the timing of the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump and wondering if his friend Benjamin Netanyahu might have reason to delay the enactment of this ceasefire until after that inauguration. What, though, is the cause of this delay?
Well, David, to quote the former US diplomat Henry Kissinger, Israel doesn't necessarily have a foreign policy, it only looks at domestic issues, and I think it's safe to say that Benjamin Netanyahu is dealing with matters far closer to home at the moment. If he was to try to delay this ceasefire beyond Sunday, he would be in a world of political pain, not only at home but also abroad. What we think is happening at the moment is actually this dispute that's happening within his cabinet. Far-right members of his coalition government are saying that they do not support this deal and they are threatening to quit as a result of it. It won't necessarily mean that Benjamin Netanyahu cannot govern, that he will lose support in Parliament, but it will make his life a lot harder. And we know that some of those far-right politicians, Itamar Ben-Gvir, the National Security Minister, and Bezalel Smotrich, the Finance Minister, have been making a series of demands today. The latter of the two, Smotrich, has been saying that, or his party at least has been saying that it wants to see the resumption of fighting in Gaza after this initial 6-week ceasefire and hostage deal period, which would be very problematic considering that this whole deal is predicated on the fact that during that initial ceasefire period,
livingcaravanexpo.com.au.
I just want to wish you well.
You've been good this week. That convene sometime today local.
لبناء الدولة وأيضا أثنى على ضرورة دعم
another one
are already in care.
616 Love.
Yes, and there were suspicious bets were being made in 2022 as well.
Yes, at the Australian Open, which after that match, he was quick to say down the mic, I guarantee you I'll test positive for COVID.
Yes.
They were placing the winnings from the suspect betting range from payouts of $10,000 to $180,000. So
suspicious bets were being made on two of these matches. One where he got trounced, another one where he said straight after the match that I've got COVID, basically.
Yes,
and then he ended up telling people that he tested positive to COVID.
So corporate bookmakers are big tech companies.
Yeah.
So they've got algorithms in place.
Yeah, they reported it straight away.
Which alerts them, suspicious money. They're going, hang on, why is there $10,000 being placed on a match that's on court 17?
Yeah.
And they go, hang on, something smells a little bit here.
Yeah. And look, just with Bernard Tomic, I mean, honestly, he's the way he is. This is going to be a big story, Jimbo. This is going to be a big story. Even though nothing has been found, even though everything's been put on the back burner, the fact that he has been targeted by people checking these matches because of very suspicious bets being made on these matches, this won't go away anytime soon.
Can I just put this little point in, because it's important and it's for the age. There is no suggestion by the age that Tomic is guilty of any criminal conduct, so it's just important we put that in.
Correct.
However, there was a formation of a police strike force. So they don't set up a police strike force if there is nothing, because a strike force is there a concentration of resources. So, and can I just put this bit in, because I know you'll like this.
Yeah.
One source briefed on the interview said Tomic appeared cocky and confident when approached by investigators.
Surprise, surprise.
And can I add another little bit? If you have these people ring you and contact you about a story,
go.
How nervous would you be?
Which ones?
So the three people, Nick McKenzie, Sam McClure and Kate McClymont.
Kate and Nick are really, really big in this. Now, Sam McClure, I'm with you. You've mentioned this to me a few times. Sam McClure should be doing deep dives on stories a lot like this. Sam McClure would be absolutely perfect to be the Nick McKenzie and Kate McClymont of sport.
Yes, with the sport element. There's so much out there attached with the sport element in Australia and around the world.
I hope you're listening, Sam, because my God, you'd be good at that role.
Yes.
You'd be so good at it.
Go down in the lab with a red string going everywhere.
Yeah, just the poke. Well, I know he's got roles all over the place, but just the poke your head up every once in a while with one of these stories.
And you go, hang on a minute,
Sam McClure's on the one. Oh. Yeah, okay. So that's anyway. That's a big story. And what time's Sam coming on?
What time's
7:45. We'll be up today. Talk about it.
Marco, this is a great story.
Yes.
Page 25 of the Herald Sun. Young mum Starfall stuns researchers. So Starfall is...
What's Starfall?
Starfall is one of our dolphins in Port Phillip Bay. Common dolphin.
Hang on. They've named the dolphin?
Yeah, because they track them all. They want to keep tabs on them and see how they're going.
They got little GPSs on them.
They do.
Little Apple tags.
Yeah, a little bag. We can find Starfall, but probably won't find your bag out of the baggage carousel 3.
Sports just told me that they put the Apple thing up their blowhole. That's not true, is it, Scorcher? They put the little Apple tag up their blowhole.
You're not supposed to repeat everything that comes down your ear from Scorcher.
Well, that took me by surprise, that's all.
That might have been our WTF.
Hey, Paul, what's his name?
Starfall, not Paul.
Paul, I said Paul. Unless he's that way inclined. Anyway, continue on.
Common dolphins have been found in Port Phillip Bay for 20 years. One particular calf in waters of Mornington has stunned experts. Significant discovery was astonishing. So Starfall's great-grandmother, Esther, had another calf, her fifth. So Starfall is only 5 years of age. They don't normally start having calves until 7. So it's great news for our dolphin population in Port Phillip Bay.
Thank you, Doug.
That's pretty cool.
All right, I would have put that story a little bit further behind a couple other the big ones, Jim, but that's just me.
Oh, I got a good moment out of you. You've actually had a good week, to be honest.
Good on you. Hey, it's very interesting to see all the papers have the stories that aligned with what we knew yesterday morning, which was it looked like there was going to be a ceasefire over with Israel and Hamas. But as we know, late last night, those stories got well, they're incorrect now, because it looks like a must want something more. But can I tell
Devil
you
in the
this?
details, we're hearing.
Only one person went with it, and it was Greg Sheridan, who is, I think he's the editor of The Australian, isn't he? The main guy?
Big kahuna.
Foreign editor, it's got here. Greg Sheridan, he went with this, it was just an opinion piece. The ceasefire and hostage deal in Gaza is hopeful, but extremely fragile. So with all the other stories, beauty, we've got a ceasefire, beauty, no more fighting, beauty, we're going to get some hostages back. Greg Sheridan, with his years and years of experience, actually said, hey, listen, let's not jump up and down yet until we see results.
That was my concern.
So well done to you, Greg.
That was my concern yesterday when we interviewed our expert. It's a very volatile place.
He keeps on going, if the Israel hostages come home. So he has written this editorial, and that has gone in at the same time where we're all celebrating, well, not so much celebrating, but we're all really relieved. Hopeful and relieved that some of these hostages will get back. Greg Sheridan wrote the opinion piece. Just hang on, everybody. Let's see what happens first. Well done, Greg Sheridan.
Don't count your chicken shisheti, you're saying?
Yep, that is exactly right. What else you got? You got another dolphin story for me?
No, there's a penguin story, but we'll leave that.
I'll give you one. Peter Dutton has urged state and territory governments to implement harsher laws to prevent knife crimes. You're big on this.
I am.
If you've got a knife crime, what happens?
3 months.
3 months straight away. What happens if you get done twice?
6 months.
What happens if you get done 3 times?
12 months.
That's exactly right. Now, all states should be doing that straight away. Peter Dutton's onto it. Well done, Pete. You've got my vote.
That's what the papers say, and Pick of the Week is coming up later in the show. Start thinking what has been your highlight of the week. Whether it's personal or public, you can score a $100 Harvey Norman gift card. So give us a call for Pick of the Week, 133 693.
3AW traffic for Vantage Bloomdale. Luxury resort-style living for over 50s.
Hello there, Louis from Transport Victoria. In Clyde North, at the intersection of Clyde Road and Glasscox Road, traffic lights are blacked out due to a signal fault. Victoria Police is directing traffic through the intersection. Please drive with caution and follow their directions. Works continue on the West Cape Freeway outbound with the outer carriageway closed between Williamstown Road and Millers Road, and the exit at Grieve Parade also closed. Exit earlier at Williamstown Road to reach Millers Road and Grieve Parade.
Luxury resort-style living for over 50s in serene Diggers Rest is now selling. Visit vantagebloomdale.com.au. Bring more to life at Vantage Bloomdale.
As the weather heats up this January, it makes sense to review our energy plans to take the heat out of our summer energy bills. And that's something Sumo can help you with. As a proudly Victorian, Australian-owned energy retailer, they understand and meet the needs of households and small businesses with affordable plans and local know-how. At their head office in South Melbourne, their friendly consultants put their customers first, answering calls quickly and providing outstanding and genuine service. Wherever you live in Victoria, they are ready to help you with straightforward gas and electricity plans. Sumo, energy as local as a hot day in January. Proudly powering Aussie homes. Join thousands of Victorian customers and make the switch at sumo.com.au today.
Discover the Ryman Lock Up and Leave lifestyle. Join us for our open days today or tomorrow from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. and explore our living and care options. Tour our show homes and see the amenities on offer. Plus, attend one of our open days and you could win a $500 travel voucher. Perfect for embracing new adventures. Terms and conditions apply. To find out more, search Ryman Open Days.
Never miss a visitor with the Swan Buddy 4K video doorbell featuring Swan Shield, an AI voice assistant that talks to visitors like a real person.
Hey, how can I help you?
Whether you're away, feeling unsafe, or just don't want to answer, Swan Shield will welcome guests, guide deliveries, and handle unwanted visitors with ease, and it's included for free.
Thanks for that. Have a good day.
Visit your Swan retailer or swan.com today. Swan Buddy 4K, the video doorbell that talks with visitors for you.
When you change your travel plans from cruising the Great Barrier Reef to camping near Broome, relax. With RACV Travel Insurance, you can change destinations and dates until the day you travel. Search RACV Travel Insurance today. General advice only. Consider the product disclosure statement and target market determinations. For copies, visit racv.com.au. RACV is an authorised representative of the issuer and receives commission as distributor. RACV Travel Insurance issued by Tokyo Marine and Nikito Fire Insurance Company Limited. T's and C's apply.
Had a car accident? Don't worry. Sheen Panel Service are open these holidays. So call Sheen first. and you'll be back on the road in one of our 600 accident replacement vehicles at no cost to you. Sheen will handle your repair from start to finish, including pickup and delivery of your vehicle. 27 locations across Victoria. To find your closest Sheen, visit sheengroup.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Hi, it's Peter Berkowitz from Berkowitz Furniture. Summer's here and you're entertaining, so it's a great opportunity to update your home with classic modern design and unsurpassed comfort at the Berkowitz Summer Sale. Get 20% and more off new orders and up to 40% off floor stock. Sale includes Australian-made sofas and dining and luxurious recliners from our premium brands. Our famous summer sale on now. Berkowitz, a trusted furniture family since 1896.
You're listening to 3AW Breakfast. Macca's McOz Range and new Vegemite McShaker fries are here for a limited time. So, Macca's one.
Another good song there, Marco. You testing your luck?
I'm not. You loved my story about the dolphins. You were so excited about it that we got Jeff Weir, Executive Director of the Dolphin Research Institute on. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, boys.
How big is this now that we've got a fourth generation of this family of dolphins in our bay?
Well, what's so remarkable is these dolphins, these common dolphins that are living in the bay for about 20 years, everywhere in the world with Port Phillip, they live in the open ocean. And so it's an incredibly positive story for the bay because we've got commons as well as bottlenose. But this little story and this little calf means that it's the first of the fourth generation since they came into the bay in 2005.
Hey Jeff, I keep on hearing that sharks, they're not so sure how long they actually live for, but I imagine you'd have a good handle on how long dolphins' life expectancy is.
Well, these animals at the moment we haven't. We probably how we put it, about 30 years is probably about the age equivalent to an 80-year-old human.
Yeah.
So some will live longer and some won't. So the great grandma of this little dolphin that's just been born is probably about 26.
Right.
But she herself has just had a calf that's only about 3 weeks older than her great-grand calf. So grandma's listening. Imagine that.
How do you come up with the names, Jeff? Did you just punch them in the computer, or is it a whip around the office?
Well, sometimes we have some of our ambassadors in our school program have put in there the idea of which the names are. We actually, this new dolphin's grandmother is called Haley, and one of her calves was named by one of our kids, obviously Comet. So it's actually Haley's Comet.
Nice.
So this is really this little calf makes Haley's Comet an auntie, I guess. But the important thing is that the success of these animals reproducing is just an incredible story and telltale about the health of these dolphins in our bay. And that's so unusual because in so many places, even in Australia, the dolphins are doing it tough. And the animals aren't surviving, they aren't reproducing successfully. And this is an incredible story for our marine backyard, our wonderful bay.
Jeff, you've got to be quick. Scorcher reckons you put the GPS tracker in their blowhole. Is that true?
No.
Thank God for that. Good on you, Jeff. You're a star, Jeff. Jeff Weir.
Thank goodness.
Executive Director of the Dolphin Research Institute. First Edition Sport coming up next with Brad Hardy.
3AW Traffic for Bob Jane T-Marts. They'll look after you.
Good morning, it's Louis from Transport Victoria in Clyde North at the intersection of Glasscox Road and Clyde Road. Traffic lights are blacked out due to a power fault. The supplier working to restore power, but for the meantime, Victoria Police is directing traffic through the intersection. Allow extra time and follow the directions of Victoria Police. The outside-bound lanes of the M80 Ring Road closed between the Greensboro Bypass and Plenty Road tonight from 10 till 5 tomorrow. For upgrade works, use Grimshaw Street and Plenty Road.
Bob Jane T-Marts won't be beaten with their best tyre price guarantee. Bob Jane T-Marts. They'll look after you. Visit bobjane.com.au.
Whether you're on a road trip, spending time at the beach, or have a late night craving, there are endless reasons to go on a Macca's run. Well, now there's a new flavour in the McCafe iced coffee range, so you have another reason to go on a Macca's run. Try the new almond